Welcome back to Not So Pro Packer Talk, where we only talk about the Packers. Today, the big question after 5 straight losses the Packers have now had: do the Packers stink? That's the main question of this video. And to give you the simple answer right up the front, we do suck. We stink. We are a bad football team. But before we get into that, we're going to talk a little bit about a little NFL news that's going around the league. Vikings legend Brett Favre has once again stolen money from the poor. Yeah, Vikings legend. He played for the Packers for a little bit. He did a few things there. Yeah, I'm just joking around. Packers legend Brett Favre. But yeah, dude, I'm not going to talk about this for too long just because I don't want to dive into it. But what you need to know is that every single week it seems like Brett Favre is turning into like the super villain that just steals from the poor and gives to his friends. Bad dude, bad guy, great football player, but man, he is not a great person as far as the real world. But let's get away from that. Just wanted to briefly talk about Brett Favre. But let's get into how we just lost to the Detroit Lions, and now we have 5 straight losses, and we are as the Packers, the Green Bay Packers, are sitting at 3-6, and we still have 8 weeks to go. And we have our next 3 games are tough. They are tough games. So right off the bat, injuries. So many injuries. I can't. I'll list off some of them. We'll have them right down here on the screen. Romeo Dobbs during the game out. He has an ankle injury, 4 to 6 weeks. Eric Stokes. By the time this video comes out, we'll probably have an injury designation for him. But right now, it looks very serious. Our cornerback, Christian Watson, he was evaluated for concussion. Didn't have one. He's clear the concussion protocol, but that is something to watch as this guy is looking like he is made out of glass, unfortunately. David Bakhtiari, I don't know what's going on with David Bakhtiari. It is the weirdest thing going on I've ever seen. He can play sometimes, he can run a route sometimes, and we're gonna try to throw him a touchdown, but then at other times he can't play, and then he can go back in later. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. I'm very confused with the David Bakhtiari situation. Hopefully it's figured out soon. But as far as right now, what it looks like, this is going to be a weekly thing that we have to deal with. He can play sometimes, but sometimes he can't. And then the next one we're going to get into, Rashawn Gary tore his ACL. Devastating loss for the Packers. Rashawn Gary, our elite pass rusher, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. His pressure rate is better than any other defender, pass rusher in the league. His pressure rates. Tore his ACL. He's out for the season. He's got a tough road back, but I think he can come back stronger. He can come back better with his mentality. Rashawn, if you don't know who Rashawn Gary is, he works hard. He has worked hard ever since he got into the NFL, and he's going to come back even stronger and better than he was this past year. So we'll just have to wait for him for 2023 at this point. John Runyon got hurt and then returned. Aaron Jones is out. He was out for the game after that the first half. From what we hear, it's just an ankle injury and it's nothing serious. Right now, he's questionable, I believe, most likely for the Sunday game. I think he's going to go. I think he's going to play, but it does not look like a serious injury. Chris Barnes just came back from his, I think it was shoulder injury, if I remember correctly, that he was coming back from first game back, and then he got a concussion. He has to clear a concussion protocol now. And then Robert Tonyan, we don't have an injury designation for him yet, but he did get hurt on the Sunday game. That is 9 injuries. 9 injuries that we dealt with at Ford Field. NFL, really quickly, I'm going to say this. Get rid of turf fields. This is ridiculous. We have too many players all around the league, whether it's in New York, in Ford Field. There's a bunch of other stadiums that have turf fields. Get rid of them. It is hurting your players. It is making the NFL a less enjoyable space because all these stars they're getting hurt and we're not able to enjoy them. Protect your players. That is what your money is. With a going to real grass, it will protect the players and it'll protect your moneymaker, really. So please do that. We need to see change. These turf fields are hurting players right now. But going on, let's talk about the offense. Aaron Rodgers did not look good. Threw 3 interceptions, probably one of his worst games I've ever seen from Aaron Rodgers. He only threw for 1 touchdown. He was 23 for 43, 291 yards, which is actually the most amount of yards he's thrown in a game so far this season. 291. Yeah, believe that. That's crazy. That's his best so far. So starts with the quarterback. He did not play well. It was 3, all 3 interceptions came within the 25 yard line in the red zone area. You can't be doing that. Aaron Rodgers is the best at it up to this point as far as taking care of the ball in the red zone, and he was anything but that this past week. So I don't know what his problem is, whether it's not trusting his receivers not being open, him making bad throws. Is it his thumb injury on his throwing hand? He says it's not really affecting him, but at this point, you have to question: is he able to throw on a regular basis and be precise? But that's where we're at as far as the quarterback position. Now, I said earlier, 43 passes. How many rushing attempts did we have other than Aaron Rodgers' 4 carries? 21 in total that we ran running plays. 21 to 43. We are not a balanced team. I don't know exactly why they were not giving Aaron Jones him the ball early in the first half. I know we took him out after that, but I don't get it why we're not giving him the ball. I thought we figured it out the previous week that, hey, we should get this guy the ball every single down. He's that dynamic. He's that much of a game changer. But we continue just not learning things. So A.J. Dillon took the majority of carries after that in the second half. He had 11 carries for 34 yards, averaging 3.1. He's been very ineffective. I love A.J. Dillon. I think he's a great back. I think he's huge, and he can break tackles. But as far as right now, he's not being effective with the ball. A running back I want to briefly talk about is Kylan Hill. He played his first game back since he tore his ACL last year. Our third running back, Kylan Hill. He had 1 carry for 7 yards. I would love to see him getting more carries, especially if Aaron Jones is hurt. I would love to see Kylan Hill touches go up, in my opinion. So love to see that. But come on, guys, let's run the ball. We know what we are. We can't win games passing. Please run the ball. I am once again asking for you to run the ball, Packers. Once again asking. Come on, please do this for me. I feel like a record every single week. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, and it feels like all the Packer fans have figured it out, but the Packers coaching staff has not. So don't know what's going on there. As far as pass catchers dealing with more injuries, Romeo Doubs is going to be out for a while. Really bummed about that. Christian Watson, what is he? What can he do? Can he play a full NFL game? I don't know at this point. Dude has been injured so much. I'm very excited about his future, but right now we need to figure out his health situation and figure out what can he do right now as a rookie. Moving on from that, Randall Cobb should be coming back in the next week or two, which I'm very excited about, getting a veteran back in there because our other veteran, Sammy Watkins, what is that guy doing? What are you here for? Oh my gosh, he ran like 50 routes, I believe. He caught 1 catch. He had 2 drops and then he had 9 yards. What are you here for? I can't believe we went into the season thinking Sammy Watkins was going to be our answer to our wide receiver problem. We went into the season thinking Sammy Watkins was going to fix everything. What were we thinking? I mean, I didn't really think that, but the Packers front office did. Apparently, he's like, what is he there for? What is he there for other than taking touches away from other people? Samori Toure, I really want him to get more touches, in my opinion. I really like this rookie. I think he's dynamic. I think he can do really well in the future. And then the other person, Alan Lazard is Alan Lazard, 87 yards, 4 catches, a touchdown. That's the most reliable person on our offense at this point. And then DeGuara, our second string tight end, or really third string, because Mercedes Lewis is our second string, even though he doesn't get any catches. He is our second string. But 5 catches, 41 yards. I'd love to see DeGuara get more into the passing game. I've seen over the past year and this year, especially this past game, Aaron Rodgers not giving him the ball and instead of throwing it away or taking a sack when DeGuara is open. I don't know why Aaron Rodgers doesn't like DeGuara, but I think he's really good. I think he's able to get open, and I would love to see him get more touches and more opportunities to get the ball in his hands. But that's as far as pass catchers. Defensively, we played honestly a pretty good game. We only allowed 15 points against the Lions, which, I mean, if your defense only allows 15 points, I mean, you have a pretty good chance of winning that game. I don't know what more else we want out of our defense other than Darnell Savage is just a liability at this point. He's an absolute liability. Like Joe Barry, like wake up, please. Realize that like he is not the answer. Please move him around, so put him in the nickel position somewhere else. But safety is not the best place for him. Move Darnell Savage. Rasul Douglas. Maybe he could play the safety, but now that Eric Stokes is out, we need Rasul Douglas in the cornerback position. I think Rudy Ford at this point is our best backup safety to kick Darnell Savage out of that spot. But right now, Darnell Savage is one of the worst safeties in the league, in the entire league. Adrian Amos is not playing much better either. The past few years been one of the best safeties in my opinion. He has not been playing well at all. He's almost right there with Darnell Savage being one of the worst safeties in the league. So, yeah, really frustrating there. Jair Alexander continuously is a beast. Got an interception this past week, turning into a ball hawk in my opinion. Love to see it. But we need to see him travel around with these number one wide receivers. Joe Barry, please let him travel, please. So that's the most frustrating parts, in my opinion, as far as this defense. Losing Rashawn Gary is going to be a huge blow to this defense and getting pressure. Now, really, our only pressure is Kenny Clark, our D tackle, and then Preston Smith, our outside linebacker. But after that, there's not a lot of people that can get to the ball and cause pressure, cause havoc, stuff like that. So right now, it's not looking good as far as our defense moving forward. Really, really bummed about it. Rashawn Gary, I thought he could be the defensive player of the year this year. Hopefully he can be comeback player of the year next year and defensive player of the year. I fully believe that he is going to be a star in this league. He just needs the chance, and he has all the ability to. So that's my thoughts as far as where the Packers are, how we played. Moving forward, I think we stink. We go against the Cowboys next week in Lambeau. I do not have a lot of faith in this game. I'm still picking the Packers to win because I'm a believer, and I will never doubt the Packers that we can win any type of game against any type of opponents. But right now, as far as how we're playing, especially against the Detroit Lions defense, I mean, that was they are statistically one of the worst defenses in like all time. They were one of the worst defenses ever. I think before this game, they were allowing like 31 points per game. That's crazy. So really frustrated with this team. I don't think they're a good team moving forward. And then we have the Cowboys, we have the Titans, we have the Eagles, Nets. Those are most likely 3 losses that we're coming up with, and we're going to be 3-9 after that. It's really frustrating. Hopefully we can pull a win somewhere and get some hope back in that building. But right now it is rough out here. I still trust in Matt LaFleur. I still trust in our GM Gutekunst, even though right now it's not looking good for him. I still have faith. I want to continue having this faith. So please, let's get a win. And please don't let me get embarrassed by these Cowboys fans. Please, Packers. Please. I do not want the Cowboys fans coming after me on Monday. So that's all I have to say. Make sure you guys check out our most recent TikTok or short on YouTube. It is me mourning and grieving over how the Packers are playing so far. Make sure you guys go check that out. And then make sure you guys like this video, subscribe, and I'll check you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Go Pack, go.